From up above to this next story, it's absolutely amazing. It's about deep underground steam tunnels, forgotten subway stations, and secret passageways through landmark buildings.
It's a whole world you probably know nothing about, and it's all right here in Toronto. Bill Coulter takes you behind the looking glass and into the secret world of urban exploration.
There's often a surprise around every corner.
You're about to see a part of Toronto you're not supposed to. The dark and sometimes dangerous underbelly that sits beneath our placid skyline.
We found a really impressive route into the southern set of steam tunnels, which sort of involved climbing underneath the floor.
Meet our tour guide from Toronto, who calls himself Ninjalicious. He's just one of hundreds of urban explorers around the world, where exploring places you shouldn't be is the way to see a city. But since that often means trespassing, he asked us not to identify him.
Sometimes the twist that a tunnel will make or a drain will make is just mind-blowing. You're in a completely dreary drain that you've been marching along for miles, and then suddenly you come to a spectacular 3-story waterfall or something like that, and you realize that no one has seen this for 3 decades.
And just like you might imagine, there is a thriving world that lies just beneath the one you and I live in.
You do encounter a lot of homeless people in strange places, sometimes with extremely elaborate apartments, with full electricity and full of appliances and extremely comfortable living.
Part adventure, part thrill, urban exploration is a growing sport in Greater Toronto.
Because of the influence of the zine Infiltration and a lot of Toronto Explorer websites, there are probably a few dozen active explorers in Toronto.
In Canada, the hotspots seem to be Toronto, Calgary, and to a lesser degree, Edmonton.
And there are hundreds more urban explorers around the world. The internet seems to be where they connect. There are more than 161 websites dedicated to the sport of urban exploration worldwide, including Urban Exploration Resource, a site where explorers exchange adventures, conquests, and warnings. In fact, it was on the web at www.urbanadventure.org where I found Jeff Chapman. He's a 31-year-old urban adventurer in Australia who goes by the name Panic, and his explorations are legendary. He sent Toronto Tonight video of his excursions shown here for the first time in Canada.
This is absolutely amazing.
The beautiful Glasgow tunnels, the Paris catacombs, the Montano abandoned asylum in Chicago, the New York subway tunnels, the abandoned Blues Brothers Mall, and even an off-limits mock Russian spacecraft. Just like climbers have their list of mountains to conquer or surfers their waves, urban explorers target a long list of urban structures to infiltrate. But Ninj has his own take.
A lot of people equate urban exploration with the exploration of abandoned spaces. And for me, that's a fascinating but small branch of the whole hobby. I think that the exploration of active schools, churches, hospitals, hotels, office buildings, train stations, and all of that sort of thing is really a lot more rewarding.
As exciting as these adventures sound, we don't recommend you trying this on your own. What Ninjalicious and others like him are doing can often be nothing short of life-threatening.
If there's a sign saying no trespassing, there's a reason. Decrepit buildings, subway tunnels, those examples, it's strictly hazard to your health. There's stock pipes where you can burn yourself if they're still running. There's roofs that fall in, that cave in.
Without proper authorization, even entering an abandoned building is not only potentially dangerous, it's a criminal offense. But urban explorers like Ninjalicious are seeking greater acceptance. He insists if you get permission and take the proper safety precautions, you will get the chance to see Toronto like you've never seen it before.
We really love all the places that we explore, and it's really important to us that people don't perceive us as the enemies of these buildings in any way.